Welcome to Day 12 of the Canon Law in a Year podcast. Today we have Canons 53 through 58. If you want to follow along, we are using the translation from the Canon Law Society of Great Britain and Ireland, which you can see on the website www.canonlaw.ninja, linked in the description below. Beginning, Canon 53. If decrees are contrary to one another, where specific matters are expressed, the specific prevails over the general. If both are equally specific or equally general, the one later in time abrogates the earlier insofar as it is contrary to it. Canon 54. A singular decree whose application is entrusted to an executor has effect from the moment of execution, otherwise from the moment when it is made known to the person on the authority of the one who issued it. For a singular decree to be enforceable, it must be made known by a lawful document in accordance with the law. Note: a decree is only required to be followed once it is made known, or executed if that is needed, and generally this is done in writing. The next two canons address what is to be done if it cannot be issued in writing. Continuing with Canon 55. Without prejudice to Canons 37 and 51, whenever a grave reason prevents the handing over of the written text of a decree, the decree is deemed to have been made known if it is read to the person to whom it is directed in the presence of a notary or two witnesses. A record of the occasion is to be drawn up and signed by all present. Canon 56. A decree is deemed to have been made known if the person to whom it is directed has been duly summoned to receive or to hear the decree, and without a just reason has not appeared or has refused to sign. A note on these last two canons. Canons 37 and 51 establish that administrative acts and decrees are to be issued in writing. Canon 55 here establishes that if that cannot be done, the decree is read to them with witnesses present, and a signed record is kept proving they heard the decree. But what if the recipient knows what the decree will be and wants to avoid being issued it, and so just doesn't show up to hear it? That's where Canon 56 comes in. If the recipient, without a just reason, just doesn't show up, then it is still considered to have been issued to them. You can't escape the law just by pretending it's not there. Continuing with Canon 57. Whenever the law orders a decree to be issued, or when a person who is concerned lawfully requests a decree, or has recourse to obtain one, the competent authority is to provide for the situation within 3 months of having received the petition or recourse, unless a different period of time is prescribed by law. If this period of time has expired and the decree has not yet been given, then as far as proposing a further recourse is concerned, the reply is presumed to be negative. A presumed negative reply does not relieve the competent authority of the obligation of issuing the decree, and, in accordance with Canon 128, of repairing any harm done. Note: so even if the 3-month timeline expires, they are still required to issue the decree, but the recipient can assume that the decree will be in the negative. Canon 128, referenced above, reads, "Whoever unlawfully causes harm to another by a juridical act, or indeed by any other act which is deceitful or culpable, is obliged to repair the damage done." So authorities are responsible for unlawful harm caused by their actions, or perhaps more relevant here, their inactions, in not providing the decree. Continuing with Canon 58. A singular decree ceases to have force when it is lawfully revoked by the competent authority, or when the law ceases for whose execution it was issued. Note: you can't execute a law that no longer exists. Continuing Canon 58. A singular precept, which was not imposed by a lawful document, ceases on the expiry of the authority of the person who issued it. And that brings us to the end of Chapter 2 of Title 4 of Book 1 of the Code, as well as the end of Day 12. I will see you all tomorrow when we begin Chapter 3, with Canons 59 through 63. Have a great day, and God bless you.